Hello and welcome back to another podcast. Max,
Welcome back.
and we've got a special guest today, haven't we?
Zach.
Yeah, we've got Zach here with us, and we're not in our usual environment, are we, Max?
We are in a tent because Mum and Dad kicked us out of the house. No, that didn't happen. So basically, we decided we wanted to sleep out in a tent tonight because it's
Zach's bored already.
different and...
So, Max, the first question is: if you had £1 million,
Wait, are these questions? Are these not
yeah, these are
problems?
just questions for you first, then there's
cool.
problems. If you had £1 million, how would you spend it?
Ooh, I'd get a nice house.
Nice house, yeah.
I'd go on a nice holiday.
Nice holiday, yeah.
I'd get a nice house, go on a couple of nice holidays, and I'd get a few good games.
Yeah, spend it on a lot of booze and things like that, yeah.
Yeah, because I'm generous. I would spend some for you, Jude.
Oh, for me, you'd give... I see what you've done there. Yep, family alcoholic, brilliant. Actually, funny that you mentioned that, because the other day we went to eat out for Dad's birthday. Everyone was like, oh, what drink are you getting, Jude? I was like, oh, you know what, go on, I'll get a cider. I get a dark fruits.
You become noise conscious, like, whilst you're in here. Like,
I know. Yeah, so I thought, I'll get a dark fruits, you know, it's a nice celebration for Dad's birthday. And I didn't ask anyone else what they were getting. Them and they ordered it, they were all getting Coke. They're like, could I have 4 Cokes and a dark fruits? So I was the only one with an alcoholic beverage, which looked
So
brilliant.
you just looked like the...
family alcoholic. Which I'm not, but that's Max. Anyway, you spend it on... you spend it on like a house, holiday, basically the boring stuff, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I'm generous. Right. I'm a generous person.
Okay.
Spend it on the family.
Ah, nice. Next question.
And some sweets and chocolate and games for myself.
And apparently you've got to answer this one honestly. What is it actually like to have Jude as your brother?
Pardon?
Ooh. What is it actually like to have Jude as your brother? Is it good? Is it bad? Is it smelly?
You see, he drinks a lot of booze,
What?
like we said in the previous thing. So,
Max, you're not doing me any favours here.
Wait, I'm joking. It's all jokes. It's all brotherly banter.
Probably don't.
Not Jude doesn't drink too much. I'm joking. He barely. Only on rare occasions.
Only on rare occasions, yes, brilliant. So so the question was, what's it like to have Jude as a brother? And you just started talking about me drinking.
Yeah, someone who doesn't know you very well is gonna think you're just some alcoholic guy or something. Jude's nice most of the time, and then there are those days where he's like tormenting the dog and tormenting me and
tormenting dog. But yeah, so on to the problems then. Yeah. So, first problem. Hi boys, love the podcast. Please can you keep me anonymous? So have you got a name for this person, Max? It's a boy.
We'll call him Jeffrey.
Jeffrey, right, nice one, Jeffrey.
Because we don't know anyone who's called Jeffrey, so it doesn't make anyone think.
Jeffree Star. Right, here we go. Please keep me anonymous. Basically, there's this girl that I
Jeffree
really like. He don't like any girls, does he?
I've heard of him actually. Isn't there like some YouTube documentaries about them on like trending or something?
Anyway,
I don't watch them, but I just know about them.
Basically, there's this girl that I really like. I have liked her for ages, and I think I may love her. However, she does not know, and I was always too scared to tell her.
Until now.
This then got worse last week. I found out that my best friend also really likes her because he told me. And he says that he's going to ask her out and tell her how he feels. What should I do? So, him and his best mate both like the same girl. He knows that his best mate likes the girl, but his best mate doesn't know that he likes her as well. So what's he supposed to do, Max?
Ooh.
Have you ever been in this situation yourself?
It sounds like a soap opera.
Where you've liked the same girl as your friend? Oh, there's hesitation.
Not that I know of.
Not that you know of,
It might have been the case, but maybe...
Oh.
So they're about to ask them out, yeah?
Yeah.
I was going to say, if they weren't about to ask them out, just make it like a bonding thing. Be like, oh, look at what we have in common.
Oh, what, to tell your mate that you like her as well?
Okay, maybe that's a very bad idea. Okay.
I don't know. What would you do?
Who do you care about more? Your best mate or this girl who you barely like? No.
Yeah, but he says he might love her. What if she's the one?
Yeah.
And then what if his friend goes after this girl, and then they fall in love, and what if his friend like then forgets about him and like just focuses on his girlfriend? Then he's got nothing. He's lost the girl and his best friend. So what should he do? What should Jeffrey do?
He should be the third wheel. Yay.
The third wheel. Is that your advice?
Mm.
But then he's just torturing himself.
No,
He's watching him.
I'm joking. I'm joking.
So what should he do? Should he tell his friend? Should he not tell his friend and just keep it buried, keep deep down and never tell anyone? Should he try and get over it? Should he ask the girl out himself?
Friendship is important, so I would say stick with what you already have, because yeah, if think about what the present is like. If the present is fine, keep it the same.
Keep it the same.
Keep it the same. Keep your best friend. Don't make them fall out with you by also liking the girl, not letting him ask her out. Let him ask her out. Be a good friend, and everything that you like will stay the same.
So what should he do about his feelings for this girl? Should he just not tell anyone and then try and get over her?
Probably try and get over her, I would say.
That's good solid advice, Max. Right, we've got another problem. Right, I think this will be the last problem for today. Right, you ready?
Are these real?
Yeah, of course they are. I've got an email where people have emailed them in. Right, what are you doing?
Oh, they're real. Okay.
Look, I'm on emails. So, hello, Jude, Max, and guest. I knew that Zach was on the show, although he's gone now.
Was.
So, I have been talking to a female, funny way to phrase it, for many weeks now. Firstly, let's give this guy a name. Another boy then, I'm guessing.
Gary.
Gary. And should we give the girl a name? Should we give the girl a name?
Jennifer.
Jennifer. Gary and Jennifer. Right, so I've been talking to Jennifer for many weeks now. We get along very well, and I really like her. She is an 8 or 9 out of 10 for personality. That's quite high. That's good personality.
I wasn't doing what they were going to say then.
8-year-old. Mike, that's disgusting. The problem is, she's also 8 years old. No, the problem is, she's only a 5 or 6 out of 10 for looks. And I am embarrassed that if I made her my girlfriend, my friends would laugh at me. What do I do?
Well...
P.S. Keep up the good work.
Okay,
Thank you, Gary.
Thank you, Gary. Well...
Should he go out with Jennifer? She's 8 and 9 out of 10 for personality, but only a 5 or 6 for looks.
Okay, this is going to get cheesy, but personality is very important.
Yeah.
And if she gets along with him, that's also a good thing.
Yeah.
Maybe you should ask her out. And...
Apparently, it says here that they do like each other, but we get along very well, and we really like each other.
So
they could go out with each other, but he's scared because she's only a 5 or 6 out of 10, and he doesn't want his friends to laugh at him for going out with a 5 or 6 out of 10.
Well, this could test his friends, his friendship with his friends, because if they were real friends,
yeah,
they would tease him a bit, but they wouldn't tease him too much. It would only be jokey. It wouldn't be serious.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think that's what you should do.
What, you should go for it?
Yeah, I think you should go for it.
Very solid advice. So that's the problems for this week. Remember, if you've got any problems, then to email them in to me, judehallowell@googlemail.com, or drop me a message on any of my social media. I'm sure you'll be able to find it. Let me just get off of this. Yeah. Max, what is today's main topic?
Theme parks.
Theme parks. Yes. So basically, this week we went to a new theme park. Well, not new, but new to us. The first time, didn't we?
It's not new.
No, definitely not new. Max, we're trying to talk about that for a bit.
It was in Blackpool. It was called Blackpool Pleasure Beach.
I'm sure you've heard of it. So, do you want to give some background on theme parks? Because we've been to quite a few theme parks. We've got Max here, who's a bit of a theme park connoisseur. aren't you?
I wouldn't say that.
Yeah, you are. You do like a good theme park. So we've got, you go on like everything, don't you, as well?
Yeah,
You go on
like,
any ride.
motion sickness doesn't affect me. I don't get motion sick. Apparently, it affects you when you get older, but
Well,
for me...
actually, I don't know if that's the case, because look at Nan.
Oh, yeah. So basically, we have a nan, and she'll also...
Don't know if you know what a Nan is.
No, she'll also go on anything.
Yeah, she goes on everything. She goes on Smiler and literally laughs her head off.
Yeah, the Smiler is the roller coaster that goes upside down the most times in the world.
I thought you weren't a theme park connoisseur. See? Now you still...
And it says it outside the roller coaster though. It literally says it everywhere.
Oh.
And our nan goes on it, and she's fine. She just
Loves it.
doesn't. She doesn't feel dizzy at all. She just laughs.
Yeah.
It's pretty funny.
So, we've got Alton Towers. So let's talk about the theme parks. We've got Blackpool Pleasure Beach, which we've been to recently. We've got Alton Towers. We went to that quite recently as well.
Thorpe Park.
Thorpe Park again. I think I went like a year ago. You went quite recently as well.
They're like the three big ones, and then
We've got Drayton Manor.
Yeah, which you go to on school trips.
Yeah, Thomas Tank Engine lands there, so that's always good.
That's good for school
We've
trips.
got
for
Chessington.
secondary school.
Again, I went a couple of years ago. You went quite recently there.
Yeah, because we had a Merlin pass, and when you have a Merlin pass, you can go on.
Then you've got the big one. You know what the big one is? Not the ride at Blackpool Pleasure Beach. You know the big theme park, the biggest one.
Disneyland.
Yeah.
Well,
Disneyland. We've
other
both
than
been to
Disney
Disneyland.
World, but...
No, but Disneyland Paris is the one that we've both been to
And,
separately.
yeah, I went with Performing Arts, and you, Jude, went on a school trip.
Yeah. So do you want to talk about... Because I think Disneyland is like the main one, really. Before we get into any of the other little ones, should we start with Disneyland and talk about some of the rides at Disneyland? What was your... and some of your like experiences there? What was the highlights of your Disneyland? Do you want to explain why you actually went to Disneyland? Because you were quite... a good opportunity, weren't it?
Yeah, so basically I go to a Performing Arts, if you don't know, where you do acting, some singing and dancing, but I go for the acting.
Male actor available on hire. not that sort of male actor. No cop costumes or anything like that. No handcuffs. What? What?
And
You don't know who watches this.
pardon?
Anyway, keep going. What are you saying?
That's distracted me, Jude. And we got my Performing Arts group. We got the opportunity to go to Disneyland Paris and perform there,
Yeah.
and yeah, it was pretty fun.
It was fun. Have you got any anecdotes from that, or is it just a ride really that stand out for
Really,
you?
the things that I can think of is the journey there and back, because like we had to get on like a few like trains and stuff,
Yeah.
and like ferries and stuff, and yeah, it was pretty funny and stressful at the same time.
Oh, yeah.
But when you get there, it is amazing because you walk through the street and there's like tons of like restaurants and shops
yeah.
and stuff, and then like across from you, you've got like giant Disneyland castle, and obviously you want to meet all the Disney princesses.
Yeah. So I've got a couple of funny stories because I went with my mates from school on a school trip. So obviously on a school trip you've got to be well organised. You've got to be up early in the morning, meet everyone in the lobby. Basically, for some reason we'd not set an alarm, and it was me and my two friends in our room. And basically in our room you got a double bed and then you got a bunk bed, and we swapped and took it in turns. And on the first night I was in the double bed, and then we had two mates, and my mate Adam, Wardy Boy as some of you might know him as, was on top bunk. And you know when you like wake up you can hear knocking, you just wake up to sound knocking, like, oh, what's that? And then Adam was on top bunk, he was going, Jude, get the door. You were like shouting, Jude, get the door. I was like, what? I was too tired, and obviously we'd missed our alarm or not set it, and the teacher were looking for where we were because we were supposed to be there quite early, and basically Adam was shouting at me, Jude, get the door, like, ugh. And he jumped from the top of the bunk bed all the way onto the double bed and jumped on top of me as I was half asleep, and boy, that woke me up. And he was like, get the door, I've told you to get the door. I was thinking, why don't you just get the door? But I got the door anyway, and then obviously we were late and we got in trouble for that. And I remember we actually kind of lost Adam at one stage of the trip, and it was the World Cup at the time, Max. And in the Euro, like there was a big plaza bit,
Yeah.
and there's big screens, and they were watching the football, and France were playing, and obviously it's in France, and there were a massive crowd of French, and basically after the match, France won. I think they scored a late goal or something, and all these we were looking for them, we were like, where's Adam? And then we're seeing a massive streak of loads of these French fans like running down like the alleys and all the paths and that, going, leave France, and we're like, what? And then all of a sudden we just seen Adam with some random French blokes like shouting, leave France, like celebrating. We were like, what? It was well funny. But yeah, do you want to talk about like the rides at Euro Disney then? So for you, what are the standout rides at Euro Disney?
I remember the first one we went on was the Star Wars Hyperspace Mountain ride.
Yeah.
And I remember, like, the queue was like half an hour or something. And then you get on the ride, and then it blasts you off.
Yeah.
And then you're blasted with, like, the Star Wars theme. Like,
Yeah. That's quite cool.
And, like, it's looping and stuff. And it's just incredible.
Yeah. My favourite was the Rock and Roller Coaster.
Oh, yeah, that one's really good as well.
Would you like to describe that for people?
So what I remember too is when you get on. So basically, when you get off, I know we'll talk about when you get on, but it's kind of similar to when you get off. People can get off in a different room, and then the roller coaster ride, like the cart thing, comes to people who are getting on it, and there's no one in it, because the theme of the ride is like, where did they go?
Yeah.
And then when you get in it,
Fell out.
yeah, that's what it's meant to make you think.
Well, it's a good job that one wasn't at Alton Towers then. But anyway, yeah, I think that was one of my favourite rides. It's cool, isn't it, Rock and Roller Coaster?
Yeah, and like you blasted with heavy metal, rock and roll.
Yeah, right in your eardrums. What about Tower of Terror? About that
I
one?
remember that was Mum's favourite because she was proper scared about it.
Yeah.
But then when we went on it, she loved it. And basically, you start off at the top and you kind of go down, up, down, up.
Oh yeah.
And it hurts like some areas, but
What areas? Your head?
yeah, your head.
Stomach?
Yeah, you still.
Shoulders? Head?
It
Shoulders?
hurts everything.
Knees? Toes? Everything.
It's pretty painful, right? To be
Oh.
honest.
But it was Mum's favourite ride.
Yeah. I wasn't a huge fan, but
Another story about at Tower of Terror. We were on Tower of Terror, me, Adam, and another friend. And basically, when we went up into the air, because you're allowed your bags, aren't you, at your feet? I don't know if you remember, but you have your bags at your feet. You don't put them anywhere. Yeah.
yeah. Where did you put my iPad?
It's just down there.
Oh, okay.
You have your bags at your feet, and my mate, when we were going up, we were going, oh, look at my bag. And basically, he threw his bag up in the air to, like, pretend as if there were no gravity. And you're like, oh, my days, my bag's, like, going flying everywhere. And then, and all of a sudden, the ride stopped. And we were sat there for, like, 5 minutes, everyone like, oh, no, it's broken. Then, like, the doors open, you see all those ghosts or whatever it is.
Yeah.
The door opened, and there was this French guy. He literally, like, the most stereotypical French guy possible, like a moustache and everything. Just angry with his arms folded, staring. Then all of a sudden he started pointing at our friend, started shouting in French. We were like, what's going on? Like, no, it was so confused, started shouting at our friend.
Bonjour, no mercy.
Well, croissant. And basically, then this woman coming, she was like, yeah, you need to get off the ride, please. You need to come with us to our friend. And they were like, oh, we're not doing anything. They were like, yeah, we've got you on CCTV, took your bag. So basically they apologised. And it was basically nearly the end of the ride. And you feel a bit sick, don't you?
Yeah.
And then they were like, oh, sorry about that, we'll let you go on again. And then they just like restarted it, and you couldn't really leave. So just restarted it, we had to do it all over again. And then when we got down at the end, our mate was just there, we were like, oh yeah, you started shouting at me in French, but yeah, that's it. So he got done by some angry Frenchmen, but yeah.
Imagine if it was like outdoors and then people could see you going up and down,
Yeah.
and then someone like threw up, and then
Oh.
started throwing up, and it would create
Oh.
this big line.
Oh, I mean, imagine if throwing up in that, it'd be grim.
Yeah, and then there's someone like from below, and then they look up, and then.
Yeah.
Oh, I think don't eat whilst watching this
Oh.
bit. We're talking about roller coasters, so we
Yeah.
might bring up some
So,
stories.
let's go to Drayton Manor.
I
I mean, don't have to say loads because that were quite long on Euro Disney, so we'll say a little bit about the rest of them and then we'll go through again.
so
Any big memories of Drayton Manor?
So I've been twice. I'll talk about it a second time because it was more recent. I went with school, and Yeah, I remember this one ride where you stood up, and I think it was the best ride there.
Shockwave.
Yeah. Apparently it's like
Oh,
Europe's
that's well scary.
only standing up roller coaster.
Yeah.
And that's actually pretty good.
Yeah, when you're like queued up in the building, it's a grotty building, like
Oh,
and it's
yeah.
shaking as it's moving. You're like, is this safe?
Isn't there like electricity and all?
I don't know, but it's scary. I tell you that. I remember going on it and being petrified. And I'm not scared of anything apart from crabs, sea creatures,
And injections.
yeah, I don't like injections. Oh, why have you brought that up? And geese. Oh, the geese scary. Oh, I don't like. I'm scared of a lot of things.
You're not
But
not very good at making your point.
No, but anyway, I can't remember what my point was. But Drayton Manor, Thomas Tank Engine Land, obviously, magical place.
Quality for your little kids. I never went on Thingy whilst it was around. What's that other roller coaster called?
G-Force.
Yeah, that's the one. That was closed
that's
down
quite
when I
good.
went with school.
Oh, that's good.
And yeah, we didn't really go on much whilst I was there because the queues were busy and stuff.
So next theme park is
Foot Park.
Foot Park. Yeah, I was gonna say that Psychic. See?
We read minds, great minds think alike, or
Brothers
bad minds
fear.
think alike.
Anyway,
I don't know.
Foot
CIQs think
Park. Favourite ride at Foot Park?
Swarm. It is the
Swarm
smoothest
is good.
thing ever, and it has some good theming where I think some birds like kidnapped, took some people or something.
Max, they prefer to be called women.
No, I mean like eagles or something.
Ah.
It took you, and it's like the cart thing. It's like eagles next to you or bird things. Some sort of birds, and it's like you're hanging down, and you're like really high up, and it's like throwing you over like signs with holes in them and stuff.
Yeah.
And it goes upside down a few times, so again, motion sickness warning.
What about
But it's so smooth.
Tidal Wave? I mean, I've had a lot of wet rides in my life, but that is the wettest ride I have ever experienced.
Oh no! You know what the wettest ride I've been on is?
Remember to keep it PG.
No, Drayton Manor.
Oh, that's quite a good one.
Yeah, because that has more drops. The drops aren't as big, but that has like 3 big drops. And I remember the first time we went there, we went as a family. Well, first time we went there as a family. Well, first time I went there anyway, went as a family. And it was the last ride we went on, so we sat in the car, soaked.
Yeah. Rita, that's a dry ride. Oh, that's at Alton Towers. But anyway, Thorpe Park. So, yeah.
Stealth.
Oh, Stealth's good. I've got that picture of me and Dad. I'll put it in now.
Yeah, and you and Dad, that's like the best
I can't
memory.
believe Dad went on a big ride.
Oh,
Doesn't
yeah,
like rides.
he used to like be more laid back and stuff, but
Don't like rides anymore, does he?
no, but like
Massive dwid.
right. Should I give the backstory to that?
What, dwid?
Yeah.
You can if you want to, yeah.
Right.
You
Morgan
should.
called me a dwid. Basically, I was like, we were about to go on holiday, and this was the holiday we went to Blackpool Pleasure Beach, but we were about to get in the car, and I was like, and we were inside, I was like, what were those flashing lights? And then Morgan was like, it was the car, you dwid. And I said, Mum, Morgan called me a dwid, what does that mean? And then Mum was like, no, I didn't. And then he's been joking about it ever since, even though I heard him call me a dwid.
Max, to be honest, I don't think Morgan called you a dwid. I've never heard that word before in my entire life, and I don't think Morgan would just call you that word. I'm pretty sure you've made this up to try and get Morgan in trouble.
I think I heard. I just misheard. No, I heard it. But if I was wrong, I misheard it because I am convinced.
Alright, so that leads us on nicely, because where we were going in that story again?
Blackpool Pleasure Beach.
Yes, Blackpool Pleasure Beach. Next one,
Right.
Acorn.
Icon. Right.
Oh, Icon.
The smoothest, best ride.
That was a really good ride. There's like the thing is with big rides a lot of the time, you've got these two like metal things next to your head in your headrest, and sometimes you're like banging your jaw and you're tying
Like
your head
Colossus
against
at
it.
Thorpe Park.
Yeah, it's awful and it hurts. But Icon did not have this. It had it had a really nice comfy seat. And I sat down and I was like, oh, it's just dead comfy. It was very good, weren't it?
And I heard you were having a blast.
I was loving it. I was like, oh, this is very good.
And also the launch is perfect because it's not too fast, it's not too slow.
No, it's nice.
It's like really nice. It lifts you up slightly, and it's like throwing you into some loops, not too many, and it's just so smooth. It doesn't chuck you about. It's just a smooth, kind of fast, fun ride.
So Max, the big one. What did you think of the big one?
What did I think of that structure? Oh yeah, it was a nice structure. Did I go on it? No, it was closed.
Oh yeah, big one was not in operation.
I did go on, however, the Big Dipper, and
oh yeah, you went on that, didn't you?
that is the oldest. Fun fact: that is the oldest ride that's still rideable in the UK. The roller coaster, anyway.
And this is the man who's not a theme park connoisseur. Boy. Boy. Anyway,
And
knowledgeable.
it was raining when we went on that heavily, and it kind of hurt a bit
Did
because
it?
it was going this way, and so I couldn't really enjoy it that much.
I would give my expert view, but I was too busy in the warmth inside having a lovely hot chocolate whilst it was pouring it down with rain.
Yeah, he was just too scared to go on a wooden roller coaster. But
Yep, another thing I'm scared of.
that sounded exactly like it was going to fall apart.
Did it?
Yeah, it's scary.
What else was good at Blackpool Pleasure Beach?
That one, what is it that Dad liked? That one that was kind of like what do you call it?
Oh, like a bobsleigh.
Yeah, it was like a
Slide.
bobsleigh ride
Bobsleigh.
thing.
That was scary, that, because there was no track. I thought we were going to fall off the edge.
Yeah, you feel paranoid that you're just going to slide off into the sea or whatever, because it's Blackpool Pleasure Beach.
I mean, that'd be some good going if you got all the way into the sea from theme park, but yeah.
I'm pretty sure it's in like the mid of the theme park. Yeah, it's like next to Icon or something.
Oh. But yeah, we're good, weren't it?
Yeah,
Pleasure
Blackpool
Beach.
Pleasure
So,
Beach
on
was
to
fun.
next one is...
I heard it's got a lawyer.
Chessington. I don't have very many memories because it was a good couple of years ago since I've been, but you went recently.
Yeah, it's got this. It's very good for children. I think if you've got small children.
You are a child.
Yeah, I mean like 7, 8 years old. Sure, we could enjoy it because it doesn't have rides that make you feel really ill. So like Morgan could enjoy it and stuff, and also it's got a nice zoo.
Yeah.
It's just like a nice balanced experience. And a fun theme park. And also, a fun story. So, we're in this safari thing, because it has a safari, and it took us to these giraffes. And one giraffe was in front of the safari thing, and it was like looking at the driver like, yeah, I'm not gonna move.
Oh, it was in the way?
Yeah, and the music stopped in the safari thing, and it was stood there for like 5 minutes. It actually got very scary because I was worried it was gonna like start attacking us.
What a giraffe?
I don't know, could start headbutting us or something, knock us over,
Killing machine.
kick us, and eventually it did move because like, I'm bored, I want to go and see my brother for a bit, and it walked off, and we proceeded with our lovely day.
Ooh. So we've got one theme park left, I believe.
Alton Towers.
Yes. How many times have we been to Alton Towers, Max?
Probably like 20 by now, 30.
Probably even been... Actually, we've been a lot. I'll tell you that.
I'd say... We used to go like 2-3 times a year. I think now we go 1 or 2 times a year.
Yeah.
But, yeah, we used to go all the time. It's like a regular thing that we just do in our family.
Yeah.
Every now and then, we'll go to Alton Towers, have a really good time.
Well, I mean, it depends which family member you are, doesn't it? Sometimes people just sat
Hanging
holding on to coats.
Nanny.
So what's... Definitely not Nana. She's there just on Smiler all day. So Max,
laughing her heads off.
what's the best ride at Alton Towers?
Ooh. It's
And
not
don't say Rita, because it's not a very good ride, so don't try and be funny like that.
What, the person or the ride?
Yep, very good.
It's,
The cleaner. Go on.
Smiler, it's not for everyone, but I really like it.
Yeah, people who are grumpy not gonna like it, are they?
No, people get sick easily, but I don't know, I just love wacky rides, and this one is a record breaker. It has 14 loops. Different
Deja
kinds
vu.
of loops, and it's just insane, and the music's insane, and it makes you feel insane, but
Yeah, I used to like it, and then the last time I went on it, it made me feel a bit sick. So
I think the front row is the best row on
I
Smiler.
think Nemesis is the best ride, not Subterra. Subterra was terrifying.
Thing is with Nemesis is I can only enjoy it if I keep my head like towards
Yeah.
the back, just like.
What about Galactica, or Air as it used to be known?
I'm not the biggest fan of
I think it's comfy when you first sat in it,
right.
and then it tilts you, and you're like,
I don't
"Ooh."
mind Air so much, but Galactica I hated. I hated the VR because the only time I tried the VR,
It didn't work.
it didn't work.
Yeah.
So I just had to take. I was just looking at a blank screen whilst I was being thrown upside down. It's nasty.
The genuine best thing about Alton Towers is the pizza, pasta, buffet. That's actually nice. That's literally like top tier pizza. Like, it's actually just a buffet of quality pizza.
Last time
It's
I went
actually
in
so
there,
good.
I didn't like pizza.
So you've
but
not tried it before, have you?
I've tried the Thorpe Park one. Is that similar?
I can't remember, to be honest. But yeah, this pizza pasta buffet, oh, it's
The
beautiful.
Thorpe Park.
It's better than Pizza
Pizza
Hut pizza.
pasta
I'll tell you
buffet.
that. No.
I've tried the Thorpe Park pizza pasta buffet, and that's really nice.
So, Max, it's time, as we come towards the end of this podcast, to rank the theme parks that we've mentioned. So we've got Alton Towers, as we just mentioned. We started off with Euro Disney. We've got Chessington, Thorpe Park, Blackpool Pleasure Beach, and Drayton Manor. Is that the 6 that we're happy to go for?
Yeah.
Any more, or is that all of them that we've mentioned?
Legoland.
Oh yeah, I forgot about Legoland. I've not been in ages though. Can you actually remember it?
No, let's not include it.
I can't remember
What
it
about
very well, I'm not
Whitewater
gonna lie.
Valley?
I've never been, but you can include it if you want.
No, I don't think many people
Let's
have
go for
heard
them
of
6. They're like the
So-
main 6, I think. So, what is coming in at number 6? What's the worst one?
it. It depends. I feel like there's 2 in my mind that are like at the bottom.
I think I know which ones you're going to say.
One isn't for me. One, I think it would be unfair for me to put at the bottom because it isn't really. I'm not really the target demographic, so I'm just gonna go with the other one. Drayton Manor,
Drayton Manor at number 6?
Yeah.
I agree.
because I don't know. It doesn't,
It's only got about 2, maybe 3 big rides that are good.
and it feels like it's unaware of what its target demographic is. I mean, Alton
Getting
Towers,
technical.
sure, it's for everyone, but it's kind of just got a tiny bit of everything. It's got it's got the Thomas Land,
Yeah.
but it hasn't really got anything else for that age.
No.
And then it's got one roller coaster that's still open, and I think it's got a zoo, which is for everyone. But I don't know, it just feels unaware of. I feel like unless, I guess the Thomas Land is pretty cool, but other than that, I think you're going to be left pretty unsatisfied
Yeah.
because there isn't enough for you.
Mm.
Yeah, I leave Drayton Manor
Yeah.
at number 6.
We're in agreement. Number 5. What is your number 5?
Chessington.
Well, we're in agreement again. Shock.
I didn't put it at the bottom. Sure, it's not for me, but
I thought you liked it. I thought you...
I prefer more intense rides and stuff.
Yeah, you are a hardcore theme park connoisseur. Should we title this podcast Hardcore Theme Park Connoisseur?
No, just
That is a
you-
joke, you know. Yeah, that's a joke. Don't worry.
I liked the pizza pasta buffet at Chessington,
Oh,
and
there
I
you go.
liked the safari. That was nice, and the
Oh.
zoo.
Yeah, see, Alton Towers doesn't have that, does it? Yo, Disney, where's your pigs?
Yeah,
Well,
Alton Towers
actually,
has a water park.
I've seen some of the people walking around. I'm joking, but anyway,
Yeah, Chessington. It's got some nice, really good rides for the little ones, and people who don't like getting sick because nothing really makes you feel ill, which is good.
Yeah.
And it's also got the zoo, which adults can go through. It's got the Sea Life Centre, adults can go through.
Yeah.
And it's got a safari adults can enjoy.
Do you like to see life?
Yeah. Number 4.
Number 4. Ooh, so what have we got left?
I think there's a big gap. So what we've got left is Blackpool Pleasure Beach, Thorpe Park, Alton Towers, and Disneyland Paris. I think next, I am going to have to put Blackpool Pleasure Beach at number 4. What would you have to put at number 4?
It's tough. It's really tough. But I think I'd agree with you.
Yeah.
I think we're going to have the same list, you know.
Yeah, I think I had a really good time at Blackpool Pleasure Beach, but
to be fair, we only went that one time and the big one was not open. We didn't go on all the rides. There was that one where you went backwards or whatever it was called, Revolution.
Yeah,
We
that
bottled
looked really cool. But it's got some unique rides. It's got some old. It's more traditional theme park.
Yeah, or that first ride that we went on was atrocious.
I really enjoyed that. But
how did you enjoy it? Oh, it literally hurt. It was painful.
It was a nice design. It looked like it was.
Because it was alright for you, but like, because I have absolutely humongous footballer's legs. I've got really muscular legs, if you didn't know that about me. And in like the harness thing
I have noodle legs, of course.
But anyway, we're talking about my legs here, Max. Come on, don't try and take the limelight. Limelight, brilliant. I mean, I can't even say limelight these days. Not good for me, is it? Yeah, these fantastic footballers' legs were getting bashed about because it was like it weren't very comfy at all, and it was just hurting. So, yeah, that was an awful ride. Can't remember what it was called. It was terrible. But
I think it's called like.
It was a good.
I don't even.
Grand National.
Grand National. That was it.
See, got a good memory.
I think it hasn't. Nothing really had theming.
No, it was just like it was good. Actually, it was really good, but.
And also, a problem Dad had with it is there were no signs to like the toilets or anything.
Yeah, that's not great.
And to the other rides, it was like in terms of like where everything was, it was a little bit of a confused mess.
Yeah.
Of different things, but the rides themselves were actually really fun. And it was a really good time. There's a lot of variety. I think it's got some good variety, and that made me consider putting it above the next one, but I just couldn't.
What is your next one? I think you're going to pick Thorpe Park next.
You would be correct.
Yes, that's what I'm picking as well.
Thorpe Park. Thorpe Park is a good time. It is. I think it knows who it's for. I think it's got like a teenage kind of demographic, because you've got like those hardcore intense roller coasters that all go upside down really fast, and then you've got like the I'm a Celebrity ride, the Walking Dead ride.
Oh, they've got all the scary rides. I don't like scary rides.
Yeah, ghost trains.
Yeah, I can't hack that.
It's aware of who it's for, but that can also have a negative thing, because it hasn't got much variety. It's all kind of the same kind of hardcore kind
Yeah,
of
when we go with Dad, he literally doesn't even go on a
nature.
single thing.
Yeah, he'll go on the ghost train and scream, and then that'll be it for his day.
Yeah.
But he went on stealth that time, like we said before. Again, I guess it's kind of a jumbled mess, but I really like the rides. I really like the intensity of the roller coasters.
Yeah.
It throws you about, and you're gonna remember it for ages.
Okay.
And at number 2.
Number 2. I think you're going to go Alton Towers, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The familiar, and of
familiar,
course
yeah.
now you know number 1. Number 1 is Disneyland. We'll get to that in a minute. But first...
Hold your horses, Disneyland. Alton Towers first.
Right. Our home theme park. Well, like the one that's really close to... Well,
we've gone to a lot. We know it like the back of our hand, don't we?
Yeah, we know where everything is. We could tell you where
Yeah,
Sonic's
we know
Bin Boys.
Doris, who sells donuts.
Doris's Donuts.
Speaking of good rides. Anyway. What?
It's got some theming, it's got some good theming, it's got stuff for everybody. Literally. It's got CBeebies Land, and around the corner it's got Smiler, and it's also got the in-between things like Wicker Man.
Speaking about good rides, that's what I meant to say. Obviously, talking stories about some of the rides at the Alton Towers Park.
Yeah, of
So I'd
course.
just like to.
And there's signs that you know exactly. Well, we know exactly where it is. It's big.
Yeah.
You might get lost.
Yeah.
There's some beautiful, like, it's got some history to it as well. Like, there's a castle.
Yeah.
And there's some gardens. I'm
Yeah.
not sure if they're allowed to touch that kind of stuff.
What, I'm
Like-
not allowed to touch the gardens.
Well, I'm not sure if they're allowed to, like, remove some of it to, like, put roller coasters there or
Oh.
anything. Or, like, the castle. I think there's, like, some sort of legal things.
Imagine if they
behind
built
it.
a roller coaster in the castle.
That would be sick, but
They use it at the Halloween, don't they? They use it for like scary stuff, but
yeah. We've done that before.
I haven't because I'm scared of scary stuff. It's in the name.
Yeah, but you like horror movies, but
I don't know if I like them. I get forced to watch them. Whether enjoy is the word, I don't know. But I have a
You
cider.
watch them.
Again, back on drinking. And I forced myself through it.
yeah, and
I'll have you know that I didn't jump at the scariest jump scare in the history of horror films. I looked it up so before I watched a horror film.
what's it called?
It was what was the horror film called? What was it? Oh, that's going to annoy me. That's Sinister, I believe. And I looked it up beforehand, so I knew exactly when the jump scares would come in. And apparently one of them was the scariest jump scare in history, and I missed it because I was looking off screen, so I didn't jump. But yeah. Anyway, that's horror. Back to number one.
Number one is Disneyland Paris, because Disneyland Paris, it's just like that theme park that's like the dream come true, like your childhood just right in front of you, all the characters like you grew up with are just there. You've got Star Wars, you've got Mickey Mouse,
Minnie Mouse.
Minnie Mouse, of course.
Put that mouse back in its house.
That mouse, yeah. Wait, what?
Massive mouse. What?
You've got the Disneyland Castle that, of course, shows up in the beginning of all the films. That's right in front of you, and it's massive. How can I say that?
What? Max, you're pure filth.
And the toilets are nice. I'm joking.
The toilets are nice. But, yeah. Disneyland, brilliant.
And there's
brilliant.
restaurants everywhere.
Yeah, food, top notch.
Toilets, top notch.
Toilets,
Rides, top
very
notch.
nice. Rides,
Theming, top
brilliant.
notch.
Roller
Music,
coasters, very good.
atmosphere, top notch, except for the queue jumpers. May they be put in prison.
Yes. But yeah, so we've agreed. Euro Disney is the ultimate good time. Is that in
Speaking
agreement?
of good times, the next episode of the
Oh,
podcast is going to be a good one.
I see what you did there. We've got a very special guest, and he is very special.
He is very special indeed, lol. And he is going to be joining us tomorrow. I don't
Yeah,
know.
we'll record it tomorrow. So we've got
Yeah.
Bish Bash Bosh podcast after podcast. Our two listeners will be
spoiling
loving
you.
it. We have got some strong listeners. I
So
don't know
there's
why you're
the guy
laughing.
who likes the guy who likes his mum is also the guy who likes the girl who.
There is actually. I'll give them a shout out because they do ask about the podcast and they do watch it every time when it comes out straight away. So Loz and Lou at Salford, they do actually watch it. They've already watched the Star Wars one. They've never seen Star Wars and they've watched the Star Wars one.
They have never seen Star Wars.
Yeah, tell them, Max. Tell them
Right.
now. Tell them.
I'm not gonna tell them to
Tell
watch
'em.
Star Wars, but if you ever do, watch it in release order, okay?
We're talking directly to Lou and Loz here.
Yeah.
They'll be listening.
Watch them in release order.
Release
Don't
order.
watch them in chronological order. We don't like that.
I want you to abuse them. Ask them why they've not watched Star Wars.
Why
Call them
haven't
pathetic.
you seen Star Wars?
Call them names.
Many people haven't seen Star Wars. It's sad.
Call them names.
The people are born
Abuse
every
them.
day, I guess.
But yeah, thank you to everyone that does listen. This one's for the fans. And yeah, anything you've got to say, Max?
We'll see you next time in the podcast.
Adios.